Hi everyone, welcome back to i-TUTOR IAS Academy, Tamil Nadu History NCERT series. Today we will discuss lesson 29 in world history, that is the League of Nations. Okay, so in last unit we discussed the French Revolution and all. So hope you remember and revise it. And the League of Nations, maybe all of you know, it was the first worldwide intergovernmental organization established with the primary mission of maintaining world peace. It formed in the aftermath of World War I. It operates from 1920 to 1946 and served as the direct predecessor to the United Nations. Okay, so it established on 10 January 1920 as part of the Treaty of Versailles that end World War One. Hope you remember our World War One unit. Otherwise, you just revise from our NCRT series. And U.S. President Woodrow Wilson was its leading architect, proposing the General Association of Nations in his 14-point speech. And the League aimed to prevent war through collective security and disarmament while settling international disputes through negotiation and arbitration. And further, we will discuss here in this unit all about League of Nations and the establishment of League of Nations. The outbreak of the First World War made the leaders of the world to establish an international organization for preventing future wars, right? And the Treaty of Versailles also provide a covenant for the establishment of an international organization to maintain peace and security in the world. The founder of this organization was President Woodrow Wilson of USA. Okay, so he's a founder. So this is a picture of Woodrow Wilson, and it was his idea to create the World Organization to maintain peace and prevent future wars. President Woodrow Wilson's 14-point underlined the creation of General Association of Nations. It was Woodrow Wilson who worked hard during Paris negotiation to bring about birth of the League of Nations. And the league was actually established in 1920, and it heard quarters was shifted from Paris to Geneva in Switzerland. Thus, the League of Nations came into being. However, League failed to prevent the Second World War. Okay, so this is about all about establishment of League of Nations. What is the aim of the League? The League aimed to prevent wars through peaceful settlement of disputes among members nation, and secondly, it desired to preserve and protect the independence of members nation by promoting international understanding and cooperation. An organ of the league set upon itself the task of achieving the above aim through its organs, mainly the assembly and the council. To begin with, all those powers who worked for the defeat of Germany and her allies became the members of the league. And the assembly, what's assembly? The supreme body consisted of the representative of the various states which were the members of the league. Every member state was given the right of one vote in the assembly. All decisions of the assembly were required to be unanimous. It acted as international league. And the council, it originates consisted of four permanent members and four other members elected by the assembly. In 1926, Germany was also given a permanent seat in the council. The number of non-permanent members continued to increase, and ultimately it reached the figures of 11. Okay, and of the two, the assembly was certainly stronger, and it was located at Geneva. The Secretary General was the prominent figure. He was appointed by the council, but the approval of assembly was essential. The staff of the secretariat was appointed by the Secretary General in consultation with the council, and the member state had to pay towards the expenses of the secretariat. Okay, so this is a symbol of the League of Nations. Okay, you can Google it, you will get more clear picture for the symbol of the League of Nations. And what are the organizations? The League of Nations, there is Secretariat, Assembly, and League Council is there, and International Labour Organization, and ILO, and Permanent Court of International Justice. Okay, International Court is there. These are the organizations of the League of Nations. And the Permanent Court of International Justice. Okay, So it consisted of 15 judges with the headquarters at The Hague. And it was judgments on questions involving interpretation of international law, treaties, and other mutual obligation. The judges of the court were elected for the 9 years. Okay, so that is about the international justice. So it's in Hague. Okay, you can pinpoint your these locations in your world map in map study. Okay, the International Labor Organization. So what is International Labor Organization? It's also one of the uh, organization in the league, and it was also attached to the League of Nations with its headquarters at Geneva. Its object was to improve the labor conditions in various parts of the world, and its governing body consisted of the representative of the government, employers, and workers. Mandate system. It was set up by the League. The territories captured from the Central Power and Turkey were not restored to them, and the administration of those countries was given to various powers under the supervision of the League of Nations. What are the achievements of the League of Nations? Aland Island. Okay, AALAND, Aland Island. These islands lie between Sweden and Finland. Okay, you can pinpoint this in world map. Okay, the island. Both Finland and Aland once belonged to Sweden. And on the ownership of Aland Island, there came a dispute between Sweden and Finland in 1920. A special commission of the League investigated the case and settled the dispute in favor of Finland. So that is Aland Island. And Mosul boundary dispute. This was question related to the frontier dispute between Turkey and the Great Britain's mandate territory of Iraq. Both parties claimed Mosul Vilayet, which was rich in oil, and both failed to come to an agreement on this boundary line. Ultimately, the League Council gave its final judgment on the subject, and in June 1926, a treaty was made between Turkey and Great Britain by which a small part of the Vilayet was given to Turkey. The revised boundary was recognized as definite, and some royalty from Mosul oil field were given to Turkey. And next is European and Malmadi. Okay. In 1920 and 21, Germany protested the League of Nations against the decision of giving UN and Malmadi and to Belgium. The League Council discussed the matter in September 1920 and wrote the government that its decision regarding the transfer of EUPHEN, okay, UPHEN and Malmadi, MALMEDY to Belgium was final. Okay, so these are the achievements of the League of Nations. And the curfew incident. In August 1923, an Italian general and two officers were murdered on Greek soil. The Italian demanded apologies and reparation for the crime. And Greece refused to accept the demand of Italy. Hence, Italy occupied the island of Corfu. In this dispute, the Britain and France mediated and brought about a compromise between Italy and Greece. Dispute between Greece and Bulgaria. There was a border dispute between Greece and Bulgaria, and in 1925, a Greek army commander was murdered. The Greek army marched into Bulgaria. The League Council requested Britain and France to investigate his affair. The Greek force were withdrawn, and Greece was asked to pay compensation to Bulgaria for violation of her territory on a scale to be fixed by League Commission. And dispute between Great Britain and France. In 1921, there was dispute between France, Great Britain over the nationality question in Tunis and Morocco. The matter went to the Court of International Justice, and however, the dispute was decided by mutual negotiations between the foreign ministers of the two countries. And non-political works. What are the non-political works of the council? The league did also a lot of non-political works. A slavery convention met at Geneva in 1925. In 1932, it was decided to set up a permanent slavery commission. The financial commission was responsible for the issue and supervision of various league loans for Austria, Hungary, Greece, etc. And the league also set up in 1923 the health organization with a health committee and a secretariat. It did good in fighting disease such as malaria, smallpox, rabies, cancer, tuberculosis, and heart diseases, etc. It helped nations to improve the national health, and it organized technical conferences. The league did commentate Commonwealth work in the field of control of traffic in dangerous drug, peasant reform, and suppression of trade in obscene literature, etc. These are the non-political works. And what are the causes of the failure of League of Nations? Okay, so it was not success because the Second World War happened after League of Nations. The league failed in its main object of maintaining peace in the world. In spite of its effort of for 2 decades, the whole world was involved in war again in 1939. After World War One, Second World War happened, and there are many causes for the failure. So what are they? The major power like USA and USSR were not member of the League of Nations. So this was a serious defect. So USA and USSR were not members. And it was unfortunate that the covenant of the League of Nations was made a part or parcel of the peace settlement. It would have been better if it had been kept separate. And there were many states which considered the Treaty of Versailles as a treaty of revenge and were not prepared to ratify the same. And by not ratifying the treaty, they were refused to be member of the league. The absence of the great power, that is USA and USSR, in the international organization weakened the league. And Japan, Germany, and Italy had left the league. So these are the major causes. And there was also a feeling among the nation that the League of Nation was fully dominated by the victorious countries of the World War One, especially of France and England. The result was the other state began to doubt about the working of the League of Nations, and the countries like Germany were humiliated by the victorious countries, and Germany was compelled to pay was reparation when it was suffering from economic difficulties. Hence there were no chances of peace. And after World War One in Europe, there came situation for the rise of dictatorship in Italy, Japan, and Germany. Japan in the Far East conquered Manchuria, and the League was not also in a position to condemn the action of Japan. And Japan was also prepared to give up the membership of the league. And likewise in Italy, there was a fascist dictatorship, and this had preached the people of Italy narrow nationalism. And Italy captured Abyssinia. When the league questioned the conquest of Italy on Abyssinia, it left the league. So, and Germany too was not prepared to accept the commitments. And under the Treaty of Versailles, in Germany too, there was a Nazi dictatorship, and Hitler preached pseudo patriotism, and he also spoke about the superiority of German race over other race, and he wanted to expand Germany's way over Austria and Poland, and he made conquest over these countries. And defying the provision of the Treaty of Versailles, he increased the armaments, and when this was questioned in the league, Germany left the league. And small nation lost their faith on the working of the league. They felt that the League of Nations had no power to control the aggressive activities of the big powers. And France's insistence of forcing Germany to pay the war reparation at the time of its economic crisis and had disastrous effect on the politics of the country. This contributed to the downfall of the Weimar Republic, and this led to the rise of Hitler in Germany, and the latter was responsible for the failure of the League. And the birth of the League of Nations on the ruins of the First World War was welcomed, and however, the member state of the League did not cooperate, and as a result, the League failed in its mission. Thus, the Second World War broke out. Finally, UNO was established on the disintegration of the League. So, this is all about the League of Nation. Okay, so far we discussed causes for failure of the league and their achievements. Also, we discussed, and what are the organization of the under league we discussed, and establishment also we discussed. So this is all about League of Nation. In between any doubts, you can contact us anytime through comment box, or you can contact us directly. And uh, so this is all about today's session. And for more NCRT series, you just do like, share, and subscribe our channel. Thank you so much.